All right, guys, how is everybody doing? Going to record 3 videos tonight. 2 are on college football, but really this is pretty much a scenario right now for the New York Giants, and this will be a Giants-centric kind of video. The New York Giants again lost a tight game on last Sunday to the New York Jets. And I wanted to take 8 to 10 minutes to talk about, kind of the future of the Giants and Daniel Jones and the entire football team. So, one, I really like the move off of Leonard Williams' contract and to get a second-round pick. I think that that's going to be really valuable for the club. The Giants need like another wide receiver. They need an offensive guard. We need to continue to monitor Evan Neal as a tackle. And these are the things that kind of need to be deciphered for the New York Giants. But, kind of looking at the Giants right now, they have Brian Daboll as a head coach. He kind of pulled his own Kyle Shanahan or Joe Judge last game just by not allowing Tommy DeVito to throw the football. So his temperament, he's a very fiery head coach, Brian Daboll. I think he's all right, and I think that Kafka is fine as well. However, I think that Ben Johnson from the Detroit Lions is one of the best coaching candidates that we've seen in a very long time. Ben Johnson has a really good demeanor about him. And no offense to Dan Campbell, because I absolutely love Dan Campbell. I love everything about his personality. But Ben Johnson, as a head coach, Ben Johnson is the guy that's really, I believe, the brains behind the offensive resurgence in Detroit. And I know that Terry Glenn's doing a nice job, or, Glenn there is doing a really nice job with that defense. And you also have Brad Holmes selecting really good players. But Ben Johnson, his ability to mentor, his ability to get the most out of Jared Goff, that offensive line, Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta, who's a rookie, just like Gibbs is a rookie, Khalif Raymond, guys like Chris Reynolds, the wide receiver, and also the backup running back that they have there. It's just brilliantly schemed by Ben Johnson. And Ben Johnson will call really aggressive fourth down plays. He'll even throw it to Penei Sewell. The way that he sets plays up, the way that the way that he creates run game is really, really special. The way that he incorporates play action. I just think that Ben Johnson is brilliant. I also think that Ben Johnson is a guy that is very, very even-keeled. And I think that Daboll with the Giants, though, I think that Daboll is going to stay at least another season with the Giants, even though they're having a really bad year this year. But you look at the Giants, so I think Ben Johnson's a really good coaching candidate. I believe Dan Quinn might have a resurgence as a head coach. Those are 2 guys that are really going to get looks. Eric Bieniemy, what he's done with Sam Howell, I really could see Washington, the Redskins, or the Commanders, whatever you prefer, the football team. I could see them elevating Eric Bieniemy because Ron Rivera's been there several years, and they haven't won any playoff games under Ron Rivera, and he's just slow with, challenge flags and decision-making and whether to accept or decline penalties. I just think that he has been not as quick with the challenge flag. That's what I meant to say. And also, I don't think his defense with Jack Del Rio has been all that great. And I think that Josh Harris, with them having a fire sale there, I expect Ron Rivera to probably be let go. But talking about the Giants, so Eric Bieniemy, we're talking about a lot of head coaches now. I don't know if Daboll's going to get a chance to draft a quarterback. I mean, how tied are Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll to Daniel Jones? And I know as a fan, I was the one guy that was like, let Daniel Jones have an opportunity here. He's from Duke. I know that he didn't have a great, winning record in college, but really, let's see if he can be a guy that like a Patrick Mahomes who came from Texas Tech that can have a better pro career in terms of winning games. And fortunately for Daniel Jones, like you've just throughout the years, he doesn't throw the ball deep. His throwing motion is not very good. It's very clunky, and he has a very, very weak arm. If you're going to have a weaker arm, you need to have a very compact throwing motion to survive. Kind of like Breeze, even Tua, to a lesser degree, Mac Jones, Matt Schaub. If you're going to function at a high level, Matt Ryan, you got to have a really functional throwing motion, and Jones just does not. And then also he has a poor offensive line. He's not too good at pocket awareness either. He's fast. He could be accurate, but, at times, and he's probably like an upper tier backup, lower tier starter, but you're not going to win big with Daniel Jones. So then you look at the draft class, you got Michael Penix, who has a big arm, more talented than Daniel Jones. Caleb Williams, big time talent. Although is Caleb Williams going to enjoy being coached by Daboll and Mike Kafka, or is he going to complain? Because Caleb Williams, just very outspoken. Like, I want part ownership in a team. I want a specific place where I go to. So it makes you think, like, okay, how coachable is Caleb going to be at the next level? You have Michael Penix that I talked about. I like Bo Nix actually a lot, because I don't think J.J. McCarthy, I think McCarthy and Penix can both be inaccurate. Penix threw a lot of interceptions early in his career, and so did Bo Nix. But I think that Bo Nix, even though he's on the shorter side at 6'1", I believe he has a good arm. And I'll tell you what, he gets the football out on time. He has really good mechanics. He's played the most college football out of anybody. He's seen a lot of defenses, and he's been in under systems with Dan Lanning, Kenny Dillingham, and Will Stein. These are high-level systems, and he's audibling, and I just think he's pro-ready. I think he's ready to step in and really lead as a rookie. And I really believe that if he goes to a place with a good offensive line, if he goes to like Minnesota with a QB centric head coach like Kevin O'Connell, he can really find a ton of success, like in a place like Minnesota. So, it all depends where he goes. But, if I was the owner of the Giants, like, I would try to hire Ben Johnson as a head coach. And I would try to draft Bo Nix in the draft. And then I would, get another weapon on the outside, and then try to fortify through free agency however you can. Try to maybe trade future draft picks for offensive linemen and kind of build your offense that way. I think that the defense is going to come along. I think Wink's doing all right with the defense. Bobby Ourike and some of the guys on the edge, and even Deonte Banks. Like, this is a young defense still. That can hold its own. I think Thibodeau is turning into a real player in year 2, so not all is lost. I mean, this year it's been terrible offensive line development through like Bobby Johnson, and really you got to look to upgrade a quarterback. You look to upgrade to upgrade at wide receiver still, and continue to have Hyatt and Wan'Dale Robinson in the fold. You then look to maybe draft a running back to compete. Because it's interesting the Giants didn't move Saquon Barkley today. Could have maybe gotten a third or second for Saquon Barkley, but the Giants are still holding on to Saquon Barkley. So we'll have to see about Daboll. I think that Daboll is likely going to survive, and that could be an okay decision. He's proven through year 1 that his offense can work. The team hasn't quit on Daboll, I'll tell you that. I've been impressed with the last 3 games. I mean, Buffalo, the Redskins, and also the Jets. The defense has just played at a mighty high level, and the guys are battling and fighting, and really enjoy, seeing this coaching staff. And if the culture was terrible, the team would have mailed it in and quit, and we're going to find that out. So if it gets real messy towards the end, it's going to get interesting. But like I said, who are the head coaching candidates that are out there? It's guys like Bieniemy. It is Dan Quinn for sure. It's Ben Johnson. These are some of the best coordinators that are in the NFL. Trying to even think about the guys like Kellen Moore is still going to definitely be in the mix for a job. And, you look at coordinators that have a lot of success, and that's kind of who you're going to think about really as a head coach. Maybe Mike McDonald of the Ravens, defensive coordinator Lou Rigmu. Again, think of coordinators, think of guys who do a really nice job on their side of the football. And then, Terry Glenn, and then you're going to interview them and see if they can lead your team. Like DeMeco Ryans is looking like a slam dunk hire, and we're going to see. We're going to see how that all shakes out. So, but with Daniel Jones, like, I'm not infatuated with keeping Daniel Jones at quarterback. I would not do it. I would absolutely draft a quarterback either in the first round or the second, preferably Bo Nix. Try everything you can to get him. I think he's a very good value pick. I really do. I think he'll be a really good quarterback. I think he'll probably be the best in the class. He checks everything from a tangible and intangible standpoint. I guess I worry more about the tangibles. Like, is he going to be tall enough? Again, he needs to be on schedule and play on schedule, but I think if he has a good scheme, he can do it. Behind a bad offensive line, like anybody, they can get destroyed. Michael Penix, big body, has the ability to make throws, get him a good system, and again, I think he can be relatively successful. Caleb Williams can be a guy that can also be electric and really successful. Drake May, don't think he has the upside of the other guys. I worry about the tangible. I worry about the arm strength with, the deep ball dies with Drake May. So it's not like Justin Herbert where it's an absolute rocket and where that ball is continuing to just absolutely just go. So there you guys go. Little Giants talk. And again, we're going to preview some NFL games probably tomorrow evening. Alrighty, guys.